Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome on in. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Magic Bun Bun, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, the show of the star for this video is the Earth and Bone Oracle. I will just be reviewing aspects of it. This is not necessarily a should you buy, should you not buy, because the only one who's going to know that is you. I'm just going to highlight some pros, if there's any cons, and what I feel about this deck, and maybe it's something you want to look into. I am not affiliated with this deck at all. I have no idea who the author or the illustrator is behind this deck. I don't even have an affiliate link, nothing of that nature. I just wanted to really show it off. I've been using it for a while now. It is the most recent deck in my collection, and ever since I got it, I couldn't stop using it. And I think it also helps because I'm going to say right off the bat, this is a perfect deck for the winter season. And we're still technically in fall season. Winter's right around the corner for us in the northern hemisphere here, but this is perfect for the atmosphere. It's a little bit of macabre, gothic feeling. So when I got it after Halloween, I believe it was after Halloween, but it's still pretty cold out. It's fall weather. It fit perfectly. Okay, so other than that, before we really get back into it, I just want to say at the beginning of this video right here, there is a new moon coming up. It is the new moon in Sagittarius. It is happening December 12th. It is a Tuesday for me, and I have a magic circle. All of that information, if you want to join in this group ritual for the magic circle, we're dealing with luck, we're dealing with opportunities, creativity, enthusiasm, bringing in new blessings, adventures. All of those sort of details as well are listed in the description box below, and you can sign up right here at my Ko-fi link and join in and secure your spot for $11.11. That includes a live tarot reading done that night on YouTube, and you don't have to be present for it. You can watch it later. You can watch the playback later. The video will still be up there with the live chat and everything. So if you can't make it to the video, that's absolutely fine, because it's at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Chicago time, for those who don't know. That should help for time zones, 'cause I know time zones could be a tricky thing. So and it comes obviously with candle magic. Happens right here on my altar. I do candle magic that night. I post little updates here and there on TikTok or on Instagram. But the next day you get a candle report, and you get the video of the time lapse of the candles burning. Okay, and I also have another video dedicated to really get in depth if you want to learn more about the candle magic process and how the magic circles and such work. But for now, let's just kind of get into this video here about the Earth and Bone Oracle, which if you're joining me that night, more than likely I will be using, because I think this also, although there's a huge full moon in the background of that picture, definitely in this one, the I think a new moon, shadows, all that fun stuff, it actually works really well with this. But I understand as well why a full moon would be on the cover here. Besides that, it's just beautiful. Okay, so it says on here, honor the concept of rebirth and transformation. And the author, and I believe illustrator of the deck, yeah, is, I'm gonna mispronounce their first name, but it's like Sirian Shadow. Oh, illustrations by, oh my god, other words that I cannot say. I'll have to put it in the description box. But it's just shows you this, so there's C. It says shadow on there, and of course my camera's cover my face. There we go. Here's the back of it. This is a nice soft box. I love it, and the foiling is so pretty. It says this haunting yet alluring oracle is tailored to help readers grow and heal spiritually. The mysterious illustrations of skulls combined with the nature reflect the changing seasons and the cycle of life. With a strong emphasis on nature's duality, the messages are about transformation and achieving the ideal balance between dark and light elements. These cards can help you establish a connection with your guides, reveal the shadow, and assist with the transformative and empowering journey. Okay, and then when you open it, I have the cards already out of here, so they're not chilling in here. It's this beautiful blue color. Was this like a teal sea green color? So that's the box. What I just picked up before is the guidebook. It has some information, some spreads you can do, and then this is the basic layout of this, is that it shows you a picture of the card, information on the card, and an affirmation to go with it. Do you necessarily need it for this card? Because I know for me, I like to buy oracle decks that are easy to read without the guidebook, because Sometimes you're just doing so many readings, or you're using so many different oracle decks, it could be a chore to have to take out a guidebook for each one you bring up. And then especially if you take more than one card, you're sitting there reading for 3 to 4 cards, if it's just even that minimal. And then it just, you're like, do I need the guidebook? I think it helps, especially if you're very like confused about a card in this one, which I don't really see getting confused too much with this deck, but I like that it's an option at least. But I don't think you need it. So I have some cards already out of the deck, but here are the rest of them. You see this beautiful gold foiling. Gold, oh my god, I'm so used to decks being gold foiled. Blue, that same shade of blue in here. And I think my camera might be turning it a tad more blue than in person. It has a little bit more green to it. It's like a sea green color. I actually didn't know it was edged when I got this deck, and it was a really nice surprise, so I really enjoyed that. So you see here it is. Is it really nice to shuffle? It is so nice to shuffle. And at the end of this, we actually are going to do a reading with this deck. So here we go. And then here are some key elements about it. We're going to start with cards that I just like, that I think are beautiful or have a really nice meaning to them. Now this card is just purely for aesthetics. This is Serpent. I would say these are the 3 key colors of the deck as well. There's some animals in there. There's skulls to represent humans in there, and flowers. Now, this whole deck is supposed to take place in a forest because with this deck, it is, like I said, shadow work. It's healing, and it's supposed to be like getting to the deep roots, getting to the root of the matter, and say. So think of it being placed in a forest. It makes a lot of sense, to be placed out there. Also, a lot of people like to do healing in nature, and think about like when you're going through these energy and you want to give it back to earth and let earth disperse it. So that's the setting for this. Most of the time, not all the time, like you'll see a lot of bare trees in here, but there are some, if I realize if I ever put any out. I do know there's some where they have some beautiful flowers. It looks like you're just laying in a meadow. Let me see if I can pull one up really quick. I should have put this to the side before. They were very pretty, but I was like, if you get the deck yourself and you want to be surprised by some of the artwork, that might be fun to do. I'm like trying to go all through this. Okay, I found one that's kind of like what I mean. They're in there and they are sitting in all of these flowers. It's not the exact one. They have some in there where it's like one is all in blue and one is all in red, where all of these flowers, and there's just a skull in the middle of it. Maybe it will pop up in a reading, or maybe I did put it inside, but in a different pile. Anyway, so we have this first one right here. This is Serpent. It says rebirth, unconventionality, and nonconformity. So you would get this with rebirth, shedding your skin, that sort of stuff. So I'm saying there's a lot of there's keywords on here, and there's enough keywords that I think can really spark it for you to where you can figure out like what the card means and what it means to you, and just use your intuition for that. This is another one because this is Enchanter, so it kind of takes off of that blue toned here. And then there's only one other shade in here. It would be red. Now these are cards that I just extremely really like. This says self-evaluation, awakening, and purpose. Enchanter, using your magic, that sort of stuff. And then this one, just because like I love the occult looking here, Conjurer, and it says higher self, fertility, and creativity. Now don't get fertility, don't worry, it just can mean more of along the lines of like being fertile and rich with ideas, okay? Love the imagery, and this is the other one because we love cards that deal with fate. And there's the red moon behind here. Now I do know some people like to use new moons to do shadow work because it's dark and it feels like you're one with your shadow while you're integrating it. And others like to do this on full moons because it's like you're taking the shadows into the light. Some things that need to be cleansed or more of like it's stagnant, we need to get that energy moving, and they feel more in tune to do that with the full moon. So be why there is that, and also just because it's really pretty and it really matches the deck overall. Now one thing I will note, which I am not sure if it's on purpose or it is, sorry, I just keep moving that, I'll just make sure it's picking up my voice. or like, I'm not sure if it's on purpose or it's inspired. Now these cards here, still wonderful cards, but these remind me of cards from the tarot. Now not all of the cards do, and there's going to be overlapping elements anyways in a lot of decks. You know, I've got an oracle deck that literally is a copy of a tarot setup, but changes things up a little bit. So, and it's really beautiful and it's still very unique. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to kind of point out some of these cards that, again, like if you feel like this, if you're looking for a deck, maybe you know tarot very well and you're looking for a deck, an oracle deck, maybe your first oracle deck, or just looking to know that you can really work with this one, these cards right here are definitely, and there's more in there. I just kind of picked the ones that really pulled to me, how they remind me of the tarot. This could be a really great deck to work with. Like this one right here, I don't know if you like saw it when you, if you really know the tarot, it would be the Hermit card. We have the Lantern, we have the Staff, we have an Old Man, and this is contemplation, searching for truth, and inner guidance. And inner guidance really brings us to that Hermit card. So this really does scream the Hermit. Again, nothing wrong with it. It overlaps with the tarot. I just think it's very interesting. And then we have prosperity, wealth, contentment, and abundance. I kind of, when I read this, and actually I think in the reading that I did use this for, I had a King of Pentacles in there, and I'm like, this is like talking about King of Pentacles again, wealth and abundance. It made me think of this. And then we have Warrior, take a guess, says inner strength, clarity, presence. Yeah, the Strength card. Got that Leo energy, that lion up in there. There's another card in here that also, but it has a tiger in it and a person in it that could also, I'd say, would align with the Strength card. But, you know, like I said, I just pulled a few there. And then this one we have is crossed, choices, searching for purpose, and daydreaming. Two of Swords. I mean, the Two Swords are right in there. It just makes me think of Two of Swords, and it's kind of the same thing. You know, very similar in what we would read for the Two of Swords, or how at least I read the Two of Swords. So, yeah, made me think of that. So how you would use this deck is to... You can use it very much for inspiration, for empowerment, for a way to really get down what it is that you need to know right now, or talk to your shadow side, to see the things you keep in the shadow and bring them out, you know, and have that moment for yourself. With this deck, that is the biggest thing here, is because it's supposed to be empowering you, healing you, to help heal you. It takes big risk in that way, you know, like it wants you to really get into your healing journey. Now, can you use this for anything other than that? Yeah, you can use it for other, I've used it for other readings and it fits really well. It might be just a more macabre, more darker version of that, which I think is really great for those who maybe don't want a full-on shadow deck, like I think it's the Broken Mirror one. Dark Mirror. Now, there's nothing wrong with this one. I'll have to do a separate review on this one as well, but this one is supposed to also be like a very shadow worthy deck. I have to use it more often. So, and this one also just has this, but you see this is Black Flower Fragrance. You may not remember. Like for me, I don't even remember what exactly that means. And the image there, not really helping either. So I would have to go to the guidebook and be like, oh, this is what that means. Whereas this other deck is much easier to use. Now, other people who want to do shadow work, who maybe want, a deck that isn't completely affirmations or very bubbly and positive, they want that darkness to it, but that is still easy to understand. This is another thing. I'm just putting this away. Again, this is a really great one. I really do love this one too, but it's not about you. Just guest starring in today's video. Okay. So let's do a reading with this. Let's find out what you need to know right now. If you're wanting to do this, maybe it's not a good time for you. Totally understand, but I do want to end this video with a little reading brought to you by the Earth and Bone Oracle. Asking our guides what it is that we need to know right now. And this is just going to be a shorter one. I'm not going to do my full spread with this. We're going to ask where we are right now, where we would like to be, and what will help us get there. And then a shadow card. it is very nice, very easy to shuffle, at least for me, and that's for someone who and that is for someone who sometimes has a hard time shuffling decks, like if they're super huge. It hurts my hands and I can't do it that often. So this one is really good. So the first one we have is where we're at right now. This is Nest. This says charity, generosity, and gratitude in a place of giving, wanting to be there for others, wanting to take care of others. This can also giving gratitude and thanks to your spirit team, divine spiritual team, you know, for friends, family, loved ones, that sort of thing right there, right? But where we want to be, and this is why I kind of giggled a little bit, is because this is one of the cards I was trying to find. You see what I mean? Like, you're in a beautiful meadow, but it kind of has that icy vibe to it, which is why I think it's like, it makes me think of winter. That icy blue color. But this one says shelter, spiritual growth, accountability, and healing. Some of you really do want to be on that healing journey. You want that spiritual growth. Maybe something's been holding you back from learning a new skill or getting deeper into your skill sets. If you want to be more intuitive, more psychic, there's been something holding you back from getting there. And then we have beloved. Well, something that's going to help you get that is love. I know how it says love, intertwinement, and reciprocating. I know that's what it means. I don't think that's how you say that word, but it means to, you know, wanting to give love, wanting to give back. And it kind of ties right back into this mindset of the Nest card right here, of maybe you want to be more loved in this, or wanting to give yourself that love, wanting to make sure that you also feel very safe and you're doing this in a very safe environment. When you're going through your spiritual healing, this could also be wanting to leave offerings out for some of you. I'm feeling like that, wanting to leave offerings out for your divine spiritual team, writing them notes, writing them thank yous, you know, leaving some things of gratitude, gratitude for your ancestors, someone who's very like watching over you, very protective of you, wanting to make sure you're in a good space before you can take, you know, your next steps into this nice healing journey and get your spiritual growth. And then at the bottom of the deck we have this is prudence, self-assurance. I'm reading it, like trying to read it off the screen. Self-assurance, integrity, and clear-mindedness. So this is like the self-conscious, and also see right there, like self-assurance and clear mind. It's and the other one, integrity, there we go. The scales made me think right away of, I was thinking divine time, but justice in the tarot card, which, you know, it fits a little bit. Again, that icy blue, I think it's so cool. So this is like our shadow card. This is the crowning card at the bottom of the deck. This would tell us more about like needing to have a clear mind, needing to make sure, and again, I came getting the words like headspace, like making sure you're ready for this, making sure you've cleared your day for this, that you're in a safe space for this. When you try to do your healing, don't try to force it. Don't try to be like, you know, oh my God, I really don't have the time for this, but I'm going to try to like just do like this much and then I'm done. And it's like you're being very harsh, being very critical with yourself. You need to give it the space to grow in order to see some progress to be made, because we don't want frustration to happen, right? We don't want this frustration to happen. You want to reach new levels. You want to hold yourself accountable. It's like, then take note. Why didn't it work today? Why didn't you have enough time? Where, you know, what made you so exhausted? You know, can you find another time that's better to do this? Maybe you have to get up early. Maybe you have to stay up a little later. Maybe you have to go to bed earlier to be up earlier, you know, that sort of stuff. Okay, so that's like a little tidbit that how I would use this deck. I think this is like actually one of the few times that I've used it just on its own. I find it very, very useful to use it with my tarot deck and with another spread to kind of bring another element to it. I think you totally can use it on its own though and get incredible results from it. All right, last thoughts, pros, cons, that sort of stuff. I really don't like to give cons unless it's very personal to myself, because what I might think is a pro or a con may not be something for you. That might be exactly what you're looking for. And if this deck is perfect for you, it's great. If it's not, maybe you don't like skulls, you don't like the macabre, you don't like the darkness, you don't want a shadow deck, then you're not going to want this deck. It's not going to work for you. Just, you know, move on to the next thing. Whereas I love skulls. I love anything that is skull related. You know, I'm trying to... You know, I love anything that's skull artwork related. So right away I wanted this. I love florals. I love being in the forest in here. I love having a shadow deck that isn't completely like you're like saying like you're in the wrong, that everything you're doing is wrong, and then it doesn't tell you how can you transform it though, how can you be more assertive with it, how can you fix it, like, you know, it doesn't give you any actions. This one does. It gives you actions. You may need more than one card to do so depending on the cards that you're getting, and there are spreads in here that you can use that are in the guidebook to help you along the way to do so. But more than anything, I think it's also a really great quality, meaning like I don't think it's bad flimsy. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna rip it. I don't feel like, I mean, obviously if I bend it right now it's going to be bent, but I don't feel like I'm going to do it on purpose. Like, I'm not going to I'm not going to do it like accidentally, very easily to do so, okay, if that makes sense. And then, like I said, shuffling wise, it's really nice to shuffle. I wish I could show you with my camera easier. I shuffle like that. My hands have never been able to do the shuffle when people do it like that. I always have to shuffle all my decks from the side. And also, one thing to note is that you can use reversals if you always, like, whatever deck you want to use. I'm sure you can mentally figure that out. This deck does not use reversals. So again, if you don't want to use reversals, you don't have to. This deck does not come with any instructions or anything that I saw to use reversals, which I think is a great thing. All right. This is my first time doing a formal video like this. I usually do like short, like little sweet ones on TikTok or something like that, but I wanted to give it a try, and I may do shorter reads with it throughout the week on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts. Maybe we'll pull a card a day. We'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes. Post some pictures on Instagram, all that fun stuff, especially if you want to see like more of the cards. All right, let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns. If you feel like you're gonna pick this deck up, at least did it hit your wish list? Maybe you're gonna put on your Christmas list, your Yule list, anything like that. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment, all the fun comments from before, share with a friend, someone who may be interested in seeing more about this deck. Send it as a wink wink hint hint to a person that you're like, please get this deck for me, you know. Again, not affiliated with this at all, this deck. They don't even know I'm doing anything like this. So I just genuinely really love it, and I've been using it a lot, so I figured I'm gonna do a video on it because I really do like it. And otherwise, I will see you when I see you. Don't forget to check out the Magic Circle. I would love to have you there. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you. Bye.